No, that's all right. I'm going to call this Public Works Committee meeting to order. I want to start with Resolution 1035 by Council Lady Vercher and myself, amends BL 2014-926, an ordinance authorizing a one-time subsidy of rain barrels for the residents of Metro by allowing a yearly subsidization of rain barrels. And I move the resolution, and we have an amendment. I assume Sharon, she walk there. She is. Sharon, is the rain is. Or that's us. Oh, it's y'all. Sorry.
Water. It's not substantive. It's just the phrasing of the enabling clause.
Okay. All right. So they meet the amendment on this one too. It's just housekeeping. All right. So I move the amendment. We have a second. All those in favor of the amendment say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And the amendment goes on the ordinance. So it's just adding another $20,000. Is that right? Or is it?
Yeah, basically, the program's been very successful, so it's basically a 20-year each year
Okay.
to continue the program.
Gotcha. All right. Any further discussion?
I'll move the bill as the resolution as amended.
Seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And we recommend approval as amended.
Chair, otherwise, I guess for the record, all citizens can avail themselves of the rain barrel, and they cost $55. Is that correct?
Well, if the stormwater pays $20, the total cost is $72.50 every week. So
But the cost to the citizen is
$52.50-ish.
Okay, $52.50. Thank you.
All right.
Good job, Councilman Syracuse.
Resolution 1036 by myself and Councilman Hager amends ordinance 2017-984 as amended to authorize record companies to charge a winching fee and to charge an increased storage fee. I would move approval, and there's an amendment. I would move the amendment.
Second.
Seconded. What is the amendment? Just a cleanup?
Basically, what it does, the winching part of it, there's another section, in the old days, we could not charge for a winching fee. Now you were allowed to charge a winching fee, but we said we could in this section and not in that section. So
okay.
the companies will now be able to charge winching. What this does is just take winching out of a previous section. The $10 increase from $30 to $40 on the fee should have been in it the last time I inadvertently let out. We actually talked about it. Committees talked about it, and I thought it was in there until the next morning, and it wasn't, so I messed up, and I apologize for that.
All right, so this is the Billy Phil screw up resolution. Gotcha.
I'll take it.
No, that's all right. So that's what the amendment does. All those in favor of the amendment say aye.
Aye.
We adopt the amendment. We've got a motion and a second on the resolution. So everyone's heard the resolution. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And we recommend approval. On the ordinances, ordinance 1057 by Council Lady Vercher and myself amends the Metro Code of Laws, Title 10, Section 10-2360, solid waste generator fees to clarify fees due upon landfilling, construction, and demolition waste.
Approval.
Seconded.
I'd like just a basic explanation of what we're doing. Yeah.
Sure.
So when this was originally passed in 2010, it was intended to do a couple things. First of all, ensure that anybody who is collecting construction demolition waste in Davidson County would pay a fee at the landfill, even if the landfill was outside of the county. And secondly, we were trying to build in an incentive for recycling. But what has ended up happening over the years is it's created more confusion than benefit. The landfills are not taking loads to be recycled over the scales into the landfill. They're being diverted. Recycling is taken out, and then it goes to the landfill. So the part about a rebate for recycling was created confusion that we were charging recyclers a fee, and which we actually can't. State law doesn't allow it. And secondly, it wasn't quite clear that if you hold waste outside of the county, you would be assessed a fee. And so we've had people say that they're collecting at projects, construction and demolition projects in Davidson County, they're transferring it to landfill outside the county, therefore they don't have to pay the fee. But they do in fact have to pay the fee, so we're just trying to clarify it so that it removes any question.
And so what incentive is there to recycle?
Well, the good thing is, if they recycle, there is no fee. So there is no dollar, there is absolutely no fee back to Metro. So the more we can get them to recycle, so if they take their material into a recycling facility, they're paying nothing. When they take the parts, the debris that can't be recycled to the landfill, then they pay the fee. And that's where kind of the confusion came up on the fee side.
What would you say from, demos that happen in Nashville, residential demo? I mean, that's concrete, that's brick, that's wood, that's all those different, do people actually on site separate those things into recyclables, or does everybody just smash the house down, dump it in a thing, and haul it out of
They
town?
usually do that. Very rarely. Most of the recycling that happens is on large projects where, like, there's concrete that can be ground and used as a base layer, or if they're lead, then that's usually a pretty easy check mark off to do the recycling, but
So large scale, like commercial, municipal projects.
yeah, like
things that
metro
are lead.
projects, they
Okay.
probably, since the lead ordinance was passed, which I think was like 2009, they probably all have had recycling. But, small projects, especially homes, it's probably more expensive for them than it's worth.
Thank you.
So excuse me, Mr. Chairman, recently inherited all of Nick Leonardo's landfills.
Congratulations.
Well, and so this is just fees going to formal landfills, of course.
Yes.
Right. But in District 1, there are these impromptu fill sites where people use a piece of property to dump on. Is there anything in your department that could help with that?
No, that would be, I would assume they have a grading permit or something like that that allows them to do that?
Well, they do, but there's no measurement of what's a kind of personal purpose fill. You've got a low spot and you want somebody to come in, and commercial level activity. So you're using the agricultural zoning to say it's a fill, but in reality it is a
It's a
commercial
dump.
fill. Yeah.
Wouldn't that fall under you guys?
Well, everybody kindly has been helping brainstorm, and I'm very grateful. I'd love to get everybody in on that task force to kind of come up with a solution.
I'd be happy to help with that.
Sharon,
Yeah.
up to this point, we concluded there, our last meeting, that planning, codes, public works, and water services all needs to get together to collaborate on trying to find a solution to the councilman's.
Okay, but we're charging fees to official landfills,
Yeah.
but we're not charging any fees to this kind of private impromptu landfill.
Because
of course.
state law only gives us the authority to charge a waste generator fee or a surcharge at, state permitted landfills.
Well,
Yeah.
Councilman, isn't that sort of the problem, is that there,
It's almost like-
yes, it's evident what the use is, it's like any other unpermitted activity, right? They are de facto fills, but.
Well, it seems, and we've been talking about this, and to get the committee ready for this, that for the original grading permit, maybe to have a box checked about whether it's less than 5,000 loads that you're allowed to do it, or more than, and then if it is more than that number, then that would kick up into being a zoning requirement.
Interesting.
Possibly, if there's a trigger that all these experts in this room can help come up with, that then you're able to identify what's a commercial use as opposed to an appropriate private property improvement.
I left out legal and grouping as well.
Okay, yes, sorry, 5 people, but thank you. I didn't
Oh, no
want to bring
problem.
this up. Thanks.
Whatever I can do to help or we can do to help, we're more than willing to do that. 'Cause I think we talked about that when Councilman Leonardo was here. It was, just don't know what to do, so, yeah.
And let me ask a basic follow-up that I think bridges Councilman Henderson and Councilman Cooper's lines of inquiry here. Have we tested this with operators to, forestall future confusion, right? Do we think that this is going to have the intended consequence considering where we've been?
We've basically been operating on this for quite a fefew years. The only issue that has come up recently, which I think was last fall, where we had a hauler that our finance department was trying to have pay a fee, or they said, well, we're hauling it out of the county. And so it was after that we were like, we'd been working with legal and sort of preparing this legislation for some time. We realized we just need to close that misconception. So there is no misconception on the recycling side. It's all on the out-of-county side, because we don't charge a fee for the recycling.
Right, I guess I'm saying, have we spoken to haulers about?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sorry.
99.9% of the haulers realize that they have to pay the fee,
Yeah.
and they are paying the fee. There's just a couple that have called and tried to dispute it because the language
it.
wasn't clear.
And this, we think will clear that up?
Yes.
Okay.
And so are the 99.9 minus 0.1% people that don't understand that or know that, are they the ones dumping in District 1?
No, they are not. They're ones that are taking their loads to landfills, to licensed landfills.
And so the people who don't want to pay the fee are doing this grading permit shadiness, or?
No.
Well, I'm
The two
not
are
100% sure
separate.
if that's the
That's
property
separate
owner
issue.
that's
Okay.
allowing the dumping.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and in fact, the property owner is saying, I need fill, I'm going to create a horse farm, you all bring it here, $100 a load.
Gotcha,
And so,
sorry.
away you go.
It's not happening in the legitimate hauler space. It's just a.
Right.
All right, voting on ordinance 1057. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And we recommend approval. Ordinance 1058 by Councilman Withers and others abandons existing easement rights for a portion of property located at 821 Porter Road, formerly known as alley number 767. Approval. Seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. We recommend approval. Ordinance 1059 by Councilman Swope and others abandoning existing sewer main and easement and to accept new sewer main and any associated easements for properties located at 5824 and 5832 Nolensville Pike.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And we recommend approval.
Grazie.
Ordinance 1060 by Councilman Bednay and myself adopts the Geographic Information System Street and Alley Centerline layer with the recordation of renaming, additions, and deletions of acceptances and abandonments as reflected on the centerline layer to date as the official street and alley acceptance and maintenance record for the metropolitan government. And I would move approval.
Second.
And I would move an amendment that just fixes a technical drafting error. So that's, I looked at the amendment, that's how I would describe it. Any discussion on the amendment?
Sherry Allred, how many times a year do we do this?
Too much?
GIS, a lot of work.
Twice a year, I think.
Roughly, twice a year?
We're just trying to keep the record up to date.
No, absolutely. I just wondered, I'm
Is there like a big book or something of this somewhere, or is it?
It's electronic. Yeah, there's a big map, but it's also electronic. It's what the
It's
police
just on
and
one
fire-
laptop
Well,
in
the
Jim's
police and fire
office.
use it to respond to.
Yeah.
So it's actually Public Works because I'm at water, but I just happen to know that.
Yeah.
We can bring it, but
Okay.
Yeah, next time we have one of these, you'll
Yeah,
want
next
to
time we
all
want
that
the
thing
book.
in here.
All right.
two people to open it.
Yeah. All right. All those in favor of the amendment say aye. Aye. And the amendment goes on. Any discussion on it as amended? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We recommend approval. Ordinance 1061 by Councilman Bednay and others amends a portion of John L. Driver Avenue and 37th Avenue North right-of-way. I would move approval. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We recommend approval.
We have to add that to the book now.
Yes.
We just amended it, there we did it again.
And Sharon left, I think there's the consultant for the solid waste. I think we've been trying to schedule a meeting date, a committee meeting date, but it's becoming hard. So they're gonna try to set up, do some calls or maybe in-person meetings with some committee members, or if you, I mean, it's fine. somebody that works for the consultant told me today. So if they don't reach out to you in the next like week or so, reach out to Sharon specifically if you don't hear from them. So, all right, we stand adjourned. Thank you. Oh yeah.
A call to order.